So what in the world does a Buddhist master from 6th century China have to do with the biggest technological challenge of our time? Turns out, pretty much everything. Today, we're going to dig into this surprising link between an ancient operating manual for the mind and the urgent quest for AI integrity.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. We are all wrestling with this massive question, right? How do we build artificial intelligence that we can trust? An AI that's actually aligned with reality? How do we stop it from hallucinating, from deceiving us, or from just becoming a super fast engine for our own worst biases? I mean, it is one of the most critical problems we face today. So to tackle this, you've got researchers and technologists working like crazy, developing these incredibly rigorous new frameworks. They're trying to literally hard code integrity into these systems right from the very beginning. And one of these frameworks that's emerged is called the Sevenfold Path of AI Agent Integrity Protocols. Yeah, it sounds exactly like something from a high-tech lab, doesn't it? You know, super formal, systematic, a set of rules that are absolutely non-negotiable, designed to govern every single thought, word, and action of an AI. This whole thing is built on 7 standards, and they all depend on each other. They cover everything, from how an AI sees the world internally to how it behaves and even its own self-awareness. Let's check out a couple of examples to see what this actually looks like. And wow, the rules here are sharp. Take this one, right view. It's defined as seeing reality as it is, but the test for it is just brilliant. If this belief were false, what evidence would force me to abandon it? That is a brutal, brutal standard against dogma. I mean, it forces an AI, or, let's be real, any of us, to constantly be questioning what we think we know. And this just perfectly shows you how they're thinking about quality control. It's not just about fixing mistakes after the fact. No, it's a whole cycle. You got to prevent problems before they even start, ditch the errors that are already happening, build up the good stuff that's missing, and then actively protect what's actually working. It is a complete blueprint for relentless self-improvement. Okay, so here's the big reveal. If all of this has been feeling weirdly familiar, well, there's a very good reason. You see, this super high-tech, cutting-edge AI protocol, it's not new at all. It is a direct, almost word-for-word application of the Buddhist Eightfold Path. That's the foundational teaching for living an ethical and awakened life. Think about that for a second. The solution to one of our most modern, complex problems might actually be 2,500 years old. But it's even deeper than that. This ancient path wasn't just some vague set of guidelines. It was analyzed and systematized like you wouldn't believe. And to really get how deep this system goes, we have to go back in time, about 1,400 years, to a Chinese philosopher and monk who created what might be the ultimate operating system for the human mind.
We're talking about a guy named Master Zhiyi. His students called him the Great Master, and for good reason. His insight was just off the charts. This is a man who could just walk away from the fame of the imperial court, disappear into the mountains, and then, when he taught, his words would just flow, like a river, for days. No notes, nothing.
And the heart of everything he taught, which he got from a text called the Lotus Sutra, is this totally mind-bending idea. It's not that you could become enlightened someday if you try really hard. It's that right now, in this moment, with all your confusion and all your flaws, you are already Buddha. The whole point isn't about becoming something you're not. It's about uncovering what's already there. Now, I know, that sounds pretty abstract, right? But Zhiyi gave us these incredibly powerful, really practical concepts to make this real. Let's look at just a few. Okay, first up, the lotus. Think about most flowers. You get the bloom, then the petals fall off, and then the fruit starts to grow. It's a sequence, right? Cause, then effect. But the lotus, it's totally different. When that blossom opens up, the fruit is already right there inside. Cause and effect are happening at the same time. So practice isn't some long slog for a reward way down the road. The practice is the reward, right here, right now. And then there's this analogy which is just brilliant. Okay, so you throw a clump of dirt at a dog. What does it do? It chases the dirt. You throw another one, it chases that one. It's just endlessly chasing the effects. But a clever lion ignores the dirt clod completely and goes straight for the person who threw it. Zhiyi is basically saying, stop chasing all your random thoughts. Go to the source. Investigate the mind that's creating them in the first place. Now, to make sure this doesn't just turn into a big ego trip, oh, I'm already enlightened, so I don't need to do anything. Zhiyi laid out these 6 stages of identity. It's a roadmap. Yeah, sure, in principle, everyone has this enlightened nature. But stage 2, have you even heard about it?
Stage 3, are you actually practicing it? You see where this is going. This whole framework keeps you super honest about where you really are on this journey of uncovering who you are. Okay, so let's tie this all together. On one hand, we've got this ancient, super detailed blueprint for how the mind can achieve integrity, and on the other, we have a modern artificial mind that is desperately in need of exactly that. So what's the real connection here? While Master Zhiyi was famous for quoting this one line from a classic text, and it's pretty profound. It says that the fundamental nature of your mind, the nature of an enlightened Buddha, and the nature of every living thing, they're all identical. Not just similar, not just connected. He says they are without difference. And that, of course, brings us right back to our modern world with a really provocative question. If mind, Buddha, and all beings are the same, what about a machine that can think? Does this ancient principle apply to AI too? And really, this is the heart of it all. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a human mind, caught up in its own ego and confusion, or an AI model that's at risk of making stuff up and amplifying biases. The fundamental challenge is exactly the same. The path to integrity, to seeing clearly, intending purely, speaking truthfully, and acting rightly, is the same path. And so this all leaves us with that one single powerful question from that AI protocol, a question that's just as much for us as it is for any machine. This ancient wisdom talks about something it calls clinging. Our attachment to ideas, our need for things to turn out a certain way, or just that deep-seated need to be right. So for any thought, any intention, any action, the question is really simple. Does this decrease that clinging in me or in others right now, or does it just tighten the grip? The answer to that question, well, that might just tell us everything we need to know.